Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Eker. Make sure to stick around for the full video today because I'm going to be talking about one of the best settings to run with a Guardian with over 5,000 hours. Now, this is going to be one of my best PvP layouts, whether you guys play with snipers, whether you guys play up close and personal with submachine guns or shotguns, or if you're just looking to get into the game, maybe try out some PvP, and you want to see what you're able to use, what's going to be the best to use. So go ahead and stick around for the full video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like, and let's get on into it. So first things first, we're going to talk about my hunters. So if you're on a hunter player, you're going to be running obviously a pretty simple setup. You're either going to be running hand cannon shotgun, you're going to be running hand cannon sniper and stuff like that, and it's all going to be how you play. Now, hunters, in my opinion, are going to be one of the worst characters just due to the fact that our supers are very bad, and it's going to be hard for us to get kills in a matter of essence of super-wise. Strand super isn't the best in my opinion. I think it needs to be buffed personally, but other than that, let's go ahead and talk about settings. So if you're playing on console, you're going to notice that you have something called FOV. Now this is going to be something that you can use, and you can use to your advantage. I play on new gen console and I'm going to be running 105 FOV, but keep in mind when you guys do change your field of view, whether you're coming from old gen to new gen, or if you guys are coming from old gen or new gen to PC, your FOV is going to be a major thing to look at. So if you guys snipe a lot and you guys do see your FOV being a lot smaller looking at enemies, it's going to definitely be the field of view that's changing stuff for you. And what I mean by that is if you're looking at something at 105, obviously I can see a wide variety of stuff on my screen. But if I go ahead and go back into my settings, go ahead and go to video, and go ahead and change that FOV all the way down to 55, and then I go ahead and press apply, I'm going to see literally pretty much just my character, and that's it. Now, old gen players, obviously you do not have a way to do this, but we'll go ahead and talk about some of the reasons why I'm talking about this. So FOV, feels like I'm sluggish, it feels like I'm super slow, but it's actually all a mind trick. So kicking it off with FOV, if I look at somebody right here, they're going to be a lot closer. We'll go ahead and try to find something to do this with. So we can do this with us. So you can see that I can see this little strand decoy super close, up close and personal, whether I'm right here or if I go all the way back here. This FOV is very weird, but you can see how close that decoy is in front of me. But if I go ahead and go to my settings and change my video to max, like everybody tells you to do, go ahead and hit apply, and if we go ahead and dodge again, look how tiny it looks compared to the old version. And if we go ahead and back up a little bit, you can emulate this as being an enemy. If you're trying to snipe, the head is going to change. So keep FOV in mind as somebody who's played a lot of Crucible, has gone through and looked at all this stuff. It's just kind of a little pointer tip, especially if you guys are trying to snipe. The FOV change is a drastic thing for hitting headshots, seeing enemies. But other than FOV, let's go ahead and kick it into something else. So if you don't want to change your FOV or you like what it's personally at, the next thing is going to be your sensitivity. Now, I don't recommend going and playing on max sensitivity right off the bat. If you guys are coming from old gen into new gen, work with your sensitivity, start at the lowest and work your way up. Personally, I like 13 just because of how I play, how aggressive I am, but obviously the higher sensitivity you have is going to be a lot better. And if you look at PC players and stuff like that, they do a lot of flicking and stuff like that to help them out, and it's going to be a really good crucial point for you guys to use once you get more into the game, I should say. Not as in getting better into the game, it's more of playing and understanding your sensitivity and how to play with it. Now your ADS sensitivity modifier, is going to be something towards aiming down sights. So if I aim down sights like this, it's going to be how quick I am and how much I can see. So I keep mine at 0.6 because I just found that's what works the best with hand cannons and snipers, since I mainly do snipe. But definitely play with that, see what you like the most. And then your sprint and turn scale. This adjusts your maximum turn radius while sprinting. So what this means is basically if I'm sprinting and I go ahead and turn, it's going to do it as fast as it can. That's also going to kick in with your sensitivity. So definitely keep that in mind and use it as a little pointer when playing Crucible. So we'll go ahead and go back to the settings. And another thing to add, if you guys are playing on new gen, you have a option for 120 hertz. This is obviously going to be Crucible only, but if you guys do have new gen and you have the option to kick it on, definitely kick it on because the 120 hertz is going to help you guys out a lot. Now, if we go ahead and talk about play styles and stuff like that, if you guys are looking to shotgun or something like that, we'll go ahead and talk about that here in a second. But if you guys are planning on sniping and stuff, what I definitely recommend is trying to find peak lanes. What I mean by that is try to find somewhere where you know enemies are going to be coming from. So if we were to play and we spawned on C side, we would definitely want to be keeping an eye on A side. So trying to find peak lanes and stuff like that, learn your maps is going to be definitely a really easy way on how to do it. And trying to find head level. I can't express it enough. If you're trying to snipe, or if you get outgunned by snipers and you don't understand why, or why you're always getting headshotted or 3-shotted by somebody, it's because they're very good at finding the head point. So what I mean by that is, if we're looking over here at red, and you guys can see this right here, most enemies are going to come walking either out of the long side right there, or they'll come close from right here. So usually 2 spots right here, for example, is where people will come from. So we'll go ahead and try to get head level right here. So head level is going to be about where you're aiming directly straight ahead. And what I mean by that is, if you guys zoom in and you guys are watching a specific peak, it's going to help you get a lot more sniper headshots. Now obviously use that radar to help you out, as well as trying to find where enemies are going to be and try to track them as easy as possible. But if we were to go ahead and play shotguns, I'll go ahead and walk you guys through a pretty basic playstyle on how to do that. So if I go ahead and just throw a shotgun on, for instance, we'll go ahead and spawn back in, and we'll teach you guys how to kind of play better or have better strategy with using shotguns. So if I have an enemy down here in the alley or the tunnel right here, what I can do is, if he's right here, or if he's right here, or just anywhere generally in this area, what I can do, instead of rushing in and trying to get a kill on him and leaving myself open for an easy kill, I can try to bait him, jump up, try to hold it, maybe not inside of here, but you can obviously just hold it around the corner, maybe aim in a couple times, or jumping up is going to throw him off, especially if the enemy is like this and they try to kill you like this when they slide around. So if they're sliding around like this, and you're over here in the air and they're actually aimed down here at crouching level, and you're over here jumping, you can actually take a hit from them being above and they won't even know. That's another good strategy to run if you guys are planning on playing with shotguns. If you guys are playing with snipers, it's just going to be finding those maps, finding those peak locations, finding those spawns, heads. It's going to help you out a lot. If you guys are more of a long range and you're trying to figure out how to play in general with maybe an auto rifle, maybe a hand cannon or a pulse, it's definitely going to be the same concept as a sniper, in my opinion. So what I mean by that is, if I'm over here trying to push somebody in their spawn, I'm going to go ahead and leave my gun point blank aimed down, so that way I can try to figure out where head is at all times and just consistently shoot in that area. So if somebody was standing right here, we're about the same size as these holes right here that I did. So if I were to shoot here, I would want to keep head at the all time. So if I were to crouch right here and slide up, head would be right about here above this little sliver. And it's just something that you kind of got to learn and play with. It's not going to come to you naturally. It's really just going to take time and a lot of play time in order to get it. But always trying to keep consistent head accuracy while you're aiming and while you're walking around is always going to help you out. Whether if I'm putting on a shotgun, or whether if I'm running an auto rifle or a submachine gun, having that just knowledge in general of knowing where they're going to be, as well as the minimap helping you, and having that head level always memorized, is going to help you hit shots a lot easier. But other than that, I think that's about everything. But let's go ahead and talk about sound. This is going to be one of the last things, and it's not very crucial, but it's kind of just a personal opinion in my option. So if I were to go ahead and play with sound, I would want to keep it to the point where I can hear movement as best as possible, especially if I'm playing against Titans or somebody that's going to be either grappling like hunters, or if I'm playing against a Titan, maybe he might shoulder charge, pop a shield or something, and I'm not near him to even see or in the general area. But if I have my sound up on a specific amount, I can definitely tell what's going on. And obviously, just a little quick rundown, your button layout, your movement controls, it's all keybind up to you personally. Your look sensitivity, go with it, play with it at the smallest amount, work your way up. Obviously having 20 is going to be the insane best, helping you do flicking shots, sliding, and having the aim sight down, just like on PC. Your ADS sensitivity multiplier is going to be personal opinion, but definitely play around with it to the point where you can actually have it help you in a game. And last but not least, having your sprint turn scale is obviously going to adjust your maximum turn radius while sprinting, and it can help you in 1v3s, 1v2s, even playing trials or comp like that. And obviously we got our video, play with your FOV. You guys don't have to have it at 105 if you prefer not to have it. You guys don't have to join the crowd and have it at 105. Personally, I did it right. I followed the crowd right when I got into Destiny on New Gen, and I just haven't moved it since. Probably me having less FOV would make it a lot easier to snipe, and I'll show you guys hopefully some gameplay after this. And if you guys are on New Gen, make sure to turn on that 120 Hz, as it's going to help you out a lot. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like. If you guys have any questions or any thoughts to add as well, definitely let me know down in the comment sections down below. Peace.